appreciate you taking some time, and we're hoping that you get some good information tonight, and hopefully you get a little bit of clarity on some of the stuff that's going on with your students' credits and choice slips. That's our main topic for today. My name is Stella Benavides. I am your GEARUP coordinator at Memorial High School. Mr. Alvarado was saying hello to everybody. He's from John F. Kennedy. And of course, Natalie Hernandez from Fine Arts. And so today our GEARUP meeting is student credits and choice slips. It's that time of year again. Start thinking about the next year.
But this year is significantly important because the choices you make now for students and parents can have a pretty big impact on some of the things that you do in the future. So that's why we kind of are emphasizing these student credits and choice slips this year.
So this is our contact information. We can definitely share this out at the end again if you need it. It's pretty easy because it's going to be our first name dot our last name. So at eisd.net. So just this is your GEARUP family right here, your GEARUP coordinators from each of the schools. And we can, like I said, if you don't have our email, then let us know. We can share that with you at the end.
I want this thing to go back up. How do I make you go back up? No? Okay. Next slide.
All right. So again, just like Mr. Alvarado said, this year has more significance. Not that the other ones didn't matter, but this year, the next year that your students' courses that they pick can have a big impact on their future plans in terms of for college and the courses they can take. So we want to make sure that you have all that information so you can make informed decisions about what your students, what classes they should be taking. As always, GEARUP is a grant. Fortunately, your students are in that grant class of 2023. And one of the requirements is that, of course, we give this information to parents, that we hold these meetings to make sure that your questions are answered. And so the way that they track this is through parent surveys. So parent surveys are extremely important. This is how we log attendance and how we can actually get feedback from you on what topics you would like to hear and how we can improve on any of the meetings. So if you could please, you could snapshot this now. We'll show it again at the end if you can't do that right now, but if you could, and you wanted to just kind of hold that on your phone so that it's ready to go at the end.
Okay. So kind of just to give a good base for everybody, we're going to talk about the student credits as far as what your students need to graduate, how many credits they should be getting each year, and kind of what it takes to earn credit in high school. And so in high school, it is all about credits. That is what you earn to get to be able to graduate. And so for sophomores, you need six credits to 11.5 credits to be considered a sophomore. And each year you should be getting at least 6 credits. Not well, at least, but that's like the minimum you should be getting for each to be able to move up. If for the students, if you don't get the necessary amount of credits, you will be considered, like, if for sophomores this year, if they don't get enough credits because they didn't do enough virtual learning, they could be looking at being sophomores next year again until they earn enough credits to be a junior. You do need the 26 credits with your endorsement to graduate high school. To earn your credits, you need to have 70% or above as far as grades in each class, and sufficient attendance. And sufficient attendance, we mean by you cannot exceed more than 10% of your class time. So, and that's for each class as well. So if Billy, he has an A in math, but he's missed 15% of class time, then he can be denied credit for that math class, even though he's passing. But let's say Billy is also doing well in English and he's there all the time. Billy has no problem with English. He'll be fine. So it goes by each class and goes grade by grade, attendance by attendance. So Just make sure to keep track of that with your child, because you don't want to be in a situation where, like I said, you're passing a class or anything like that, and then you're denied credit because of absences, or if, as far as grades as well, if you're failing in class, and at the semester you failed a class and you did not get the grade to get that half credit for the year. So that's kind of a lot of the situation that a lot of our students are in right now. Is, this first semester of virtual learning was kind of a lot, and it took a while to get adjusted, and so grades reflected that. And so a lot of our students are missing a half credit in a couple classes, um, at the start of this second semester. And so they need to go and average out at the end of the year, or they need to go and do, makeup work to be able to recover that credit. But just keep an eye on that just so you don't fall behind. And if I could get this thing out of the way, but the one on the left side is the recommended, and the one on the right side is the distinguished plan. These are the high school plans that students typically fall in as far as their, high school plan and graduation. And so students do need four classes of English, four classes of math, four science, the force history. For your recommended, you need your physical education, 2 credits in the same language. So for us, it'd be Spanish. Um, one half a credit, one half credit from either of the following: speech, communication, professional communication, and one half credits from electives. And then for the distinguished, the biggest difference would be the 3 credits in the same language. So again, that most likely be Spanish in our district, and then be four and one half credits for your electives. But these are typically where our students fall. It used to be where you didn't have to take so much math and so much science, but that's been changed for a couple years now. So students, make sure this is what you need. You do need English 4, and you do need, that 4th year of science and that 4th year of math. But this should be pretty basic for everybody. Um, Going on to what this is the state of Texas has made it to where, with these classes here, these are all college courses. They made a 42 core curriculum, like standard all across the state of Texas. And so they're saying, the state of Texas is saying pretty much anybody who's pursuing anyone who's pursuing, an associate's degree or bachelor's degree is going to have all of these classes in their degree plan. In their They're going to have all these classes within, they're going to have to take all these classes eventually as they pursue their degree. So whether that's a 2-year degree or whether it's a 4-year degree, all the students in the state of Texas, you're going to need two classes of communication, one class of mathematics, usually like college algebra, life and physical science, 2 classes there, which is usually like biology, language, philosophy and culture, creative arts, American history. So that's like 1301, 1302, social studies or history, your government, political science. That's 2 classes there. Your social and behavioral sciences, which is like your sociology class, and your component area option, which is 2 classes there. Um, and so the state of Texas has made it to where everybody's going to take these 42 classes, like I say, whether you're doing a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. But the good thing is what they've done is they made it more aligned with everybody, so that, when our students take these classes, in college, whether they take it at a 4-year or 2-year, and if they wanted to switch schools, they could transfer these classes anywhere in the state of Texas pretty easily. Um, and so that kind of goes into what we're going to talk about right now. For our high school students, for our 10th grade GEARUP students going into your 11th grade year, you can start to take some of these classes next year, your 11th grade year. You can get your math out of the way. You can get your American history out of the way. That's going to be 2 classes of American history. You can get that out of the way starting 11th grade year. Your language, your English classes, you can get that out of the way. You can get some of these classes out of the way. That's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money, in the long run, through dual credit and AP courses. So that's kind of why we show this. Like I said, if you're pursuing Oops. Did I do that? Nope. If you're pursuing a 2-year or 4-year degree, you're gonna have to take these classes sooner or later, whether you're an English major or an engineering major. And so you can start to chip away at this starting next year in 11th grade.
Okay, so there are also course descriptions that are available on the district website. So there's the link. You can view the endorsement degree plans, and then you can also just, like I said, view any course that's offered within the district on that website, just in case you were interested. So I'm going to talk about the difference between dual credit and AP classes. So there are some similarities, but we do have differences, of course, as well. So for dual credit, the cost of the class is free to the student. So even though your student will be taking a class at Palo Alto or SAC or wherever, whichever Alamo College, they don't have to pay tuition. It doesn't work that way. So in addition to that, so while they're taking these dual credit classes, they're going to be earning high school credit and college credit at the same time, which is really nice. So they will go off campus to take their classes, or at least they used to pre-COVID times. I don't know how that's going to work now, but typically they would go off campus, go do their stuff, and then come back to school for their other non-dual credit classes. So the high schools partner with the local community college. So I used to work at Memorial. I know that they partner with Palo Alto. I don't know about Kennedy. I don't know which one you guys partner with. Do you know, Jesse?
It's through Palo Alto.
Okay. Okay, cool. So they're going to the district partners with one of the Alamo colleges. And so, like I said, they take the kids over there to campus, they take care of their class, and then they come back to school for the rest of the day. So these college credits can be transferred in the state of Texas. And I want to specify that they will more than likely be easier to transfer at public institutions than they were for private institutions. And I only say that because I spent some time at UIW as an advisor for freshmen. And so sometimes I would review their transcripts, and there were some students that brought in a ton of dual credit courses, which is great, but not all of them transferred. So the ones that were on the previous slide, like the histories and the sciences and the English and things like that, those would easily transfer. But some students would take
I'm on the phone.
I don't want to say that they're obscure classes, but they would take like psychological development dual credit AP or dual credit classes, or you know, just things that were very specific. And so those wouldn't always transfer, but like I said, the ones on the previous slide were, you know, the basic, like Mr. Alvarado said, the 1301, 1302 classes. So last thing for dual credit is that the student needs to pass the TSI test. So the math, the reading, and the writing sections before they can go and do dual credit classes. And the reason for that is because pretty much everyone has to take the TSI while they're in high school to be able to go to college, just to make sure that they're ready. Because they can either be college ready through the SAT or the TSI. So that's what the kids would need to be eligible for dual credit. And then moving over to AP classes. So the cost of this class is also free to the student. So it's just going to be a class that they take at the high school on campus. And students can earn college credit if they pass the AP exam at the end of the year. So typically the minimum score that we're looking for is a 3, but some colleges will only take a 4 or a 5. It really depends. So like your UT Austin, A&M College Station, Rice University, the more prestigious universities, they're going to want their students to bring in a 4 or a 5, but some of them bring in 3. And that'll be something that we would have to determine ahead of time. So if you're wanting to pursue a prestigious university, you're going to want to shoot for a higher score, of course. And so last thing for AP is that the credits can be earned and also transferred to most colleges and universities in the country. So dual credit, it's more state-wise, and whereas AP credit is more accepted all across the country. So those are some of the differences.
And you mentioned the failing the class for dual credit, that warning there.
Oh yeah, so if you fail dual credit, the student wouldn't get the college credit, of course. So, because it would just be like they were a full-time student and failed a college class. So they failed dual credit, they just won't earn college credit.
I actually think that they all did a pretty good job, but again.
So this is an example of the 11th grade choice slip. So you can see at the top, there's different, like there's the arts and humanities endorsement, business, public service, things like that. So they kind of break it down by endorsement at the top, and then on the bottom where it says directions in the little tiny bar, that's where they're going to choose all of their classes. So like we mentioned earlier, junior year is a very, very important year because the choices that you make for your classes next year can set you up to be in a really good place by the time that you're a senior, and then of course by the time that you graduate, because you should be taking advantage of the classes that are offered on your campus to get ahead. So the quicker you can get in and out of college, the better. The less money that you have to pay, the more classes that you can knock out in high school to get credit, the better, of course. So I know that there's like the on-ramps option through UT Austin that's available with the math classes, so pre-cal and stats, algebra 2. There's the I can see dual credit US history. So there's a lot of options. So I think our main concern though, as the GEARUP coordinators, is that we're aware of what your goals are, what the students' goals are for after high school, so we can kind of guide them in the right direction and make some good recommendations for coursework to take junior year. And then of course senior year, but we'll get there around this time next year.
And for when it does say on-ramps, that is the program through the University of Texas at Austin. And so like Natalie said, if your child elects to take that class, they would get credit through the University of Texas. So that's pretty cool. But also know that, while we do talk about AP courses and dual credit courses and on-ramps, your child needs to also we encourage them, but also know that they are challenging and they are much more rigorous than normal classes. And so they're not going to be easy. So just know that.
Right. I think it's kind of, for lack of better words, like a high risk, high reward type thing. So it's going to be a lot of work. These are real college classes. They don't knock down the rigor to accommodate our high school students. It is a legitimate college class. So they have to be ready for that. And I know in the past, working with students that have done dual credit, they are successful, but they stay on top of their schoolwork. So it's just like, any class in high school, they have to stay on top of it, but it just might be a little bit more work. But again, at the end of the day, once they graduate, they can knock 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly a whole semester's worth of classes off of their degree plan for free because of work that they did in high school. So I know, so for me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I always try to encourage students to do dual credit, just because if you do your due diligence and you work hard and you pass the class, boom, you got the credit. You don't have to worry about it. AP can be a little bit tricky because like I mentioned on the previous slide, you do have to pass the test. If you do not pass the test, you'll get credit for high school and you'll be good there, but college wise, you won't get any credit for that. So it's a decision that our students have to think about and to be realistic about for themselves, on a personal level. And then of course, we always encourage them to talk to you guys, to the parents about their decision, so you guys can make that decision as a family if you'd like.
And then regarding the actual choice slip, like whether your child has done it yet or not, I know for Kennedy, counselors have been going around for students on campus, doing choice slips with them individually, and I believe they've been reaching out online as well. And so the choice slips in that submission is happening now, and so We have the counselor's information in another slide that you can reach out to your counselor if you haven't done your choice slip yet. And then yeah, Edgewood Fine Arts and Memorial are kind of doing it differently as well. So I don't know if you want to talk about that.
So at Memorial, the students were given the choice slips through their English teachers. It's in their English teams. But I also have the list of students who have not submitted their choice slips. So if your student has not submitted it, I've already sent them a message. So I've already contacted them and let them know. If you're, wondering whether or not your student has already done that, then you can definitely, if you want to put it in the chat or something, I can send you a message and just let you know and confirm whether or not they've done that. But it's going to be done online. It was a little more hands off this year just because of COVID and the counselors not, having that ability to kind of go face to face with everybody. But I do have access to that. And also, if your student made a decision to not take an AP course or a dual credit, or now you hear this and you think, you know what, I'd want them to do this instead, those changes still can be made. They can still make adjustments to the schedule. You just want to do that as soon as possible so that you can get your first pick.
And so for fine arts, we only have one counselor, so it's Miss Luna, and she is actually out. She's been out since we got back from the break, and we do not know when she's going to be back. So I'm trying to work with our admin to see, what the process for that looks like. We're hoping that she won't be out much longer, but I am planning to be a part of those conversations when she does talk to our sophomores about choice slips and things like that, just so that I can be in the loop. And again, for the college access part, to just kind of help guide them in the direction that they're wanting to go after high school. So TBD for fine arts choice slip plan. And so I can go
I'm
over
not
this really
muted.
quick.
Oh,
So,
Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
Sorry, real quick. So this is the list by campus of all of our resources and our staff that we have, student support staff. So all of the counselors at each campus, and then the parent liaison at Memorial, her information is listed. The social emotional counselor at Memorial is listed, and then the social worker as well at Kennedy, along with Kennedy's counselors. So if you want to take a picture of this, just so you can keep it whenever you guys want to reach out, if you have questions about choice slips, if you have questions about anything really, these are the people that you'll want to contact.
All right, so very excited to announce that Memorial will be having a parent drive-through. And I actually just got the flyer done a little earlier, so I'll be sending it out through Signalvine, which, just a quick shout out, if your phone number has changed, if you could please, contact us either through email, or I know maybe you don't want to put it in the chat, but you actually did fill out one of those forms. So you could just indicate like my phone number changed. So this way we can update you in Signalvine. Signalvine is how we contact you. We send out reminders about events like today's parent meeting. And also I'll be sending a flyer through Signalvine for Memorial's parent drive-through. So just something to throw out there that please make sure you have updated phone numbers so that we can get a hold of you. But our Memorial parent drive-through will be next Thursday. It's going to be through the CTE parking lot starting around 3 o'clock, and it'll last through 6. We'll be giving out information. You'll be able to drive through. We ask that you stay in your cars, of course, and wear your mask when we're at the window. We will be doing the same, but we'll be giving out information about, the current student class schedule in case you're not too sure, what time your student's supposed to be in, what period. We have A days and B days, so it's getting it's been a little confusing for some students. Any important testing dates that are coming up. We'll have a special area just for seniors. So I know this is for 10th grade, but if you do have any seniors, we actually have some information for juniors as well. Advise Texas will be out there. And we do have some small giveaways from AmeriGroup. They're going to have a tent, and as well as some, little goodie bags that they'll be giving away. But this is just going to be a way for us to get a lot of information out to the community. So if you can make it, that'd be great. If you know another family in the Memorial group, if you can invite them and just spread the information, and hopefully we get a chance to see you out there. GEARUP will be out there as well. CIS, I believe, has some information to give out. as well as the nurse. We actually have vaccinations drives that are going to be put on through the school. I think he just emailed me today with some dates as well, for dates for immunization offered at the schools too. So we'll have the nurse out there as well. So a lot of information, and it's still kind of coming together. I'm getting some more people that are coming out. So hope to see you there.
And then
And yeah. Oh, you go ahead. That's right. This is
Yeah.
Kennedy's.
For Kennedy, we do have a drive-through, Valentine's Day drive-through coming tomorrow. That's kind of brought to you by our parent liaison, Miss Olvera. That's going to be tomorrow from 12 to 2, kind of the same information, a little bit similar to Memorial as far as if you have seniors, if you have the counselors will be out there, admin will be out there, CIS will be out there. It'll be game night baskets, so kind of like snack, like snack bag for you and your family. But also students and parents. I don't have anything with me because I'm at home, but we did get a couple items for the students. So we do have like pocket sanitizers, we have water bottles, we have the face masks. What else do we have? I think that's it for now, but we do have, oh, and planners. We do have planners available for the students. And so if your student hasn't gotten any of those kinds of things, for Kennedy, you can swing by and do the drive-through and pick that up as well.
And we have the mouses too, remember, for tutoring.
Yes, the mouses, though, you have to do tutoring. Students, if you do 5 or more sessions of tutoring, at least through tutor.com, you will get a free mouse.
Yeah. And this is tomorrow, Natalie. No, not tomorrow, Thursday. Me and Natalie will be out there.
Next week.
This is actually offered through the family engagement department. They do quite a bit. They have meetings, and they do these drive-throughs. And so we're going to start partnering with them so that we can be out there too. We will be pushing out the information through Signalvine again, so this way you can be informed. This one's going to be from 9 to 11 a.m. And you don't have to bring your student, especially since this is during the day. Even for the afternoon one, if they're done with school and they go home, they don't have to be in the drive-through with you. This will be at the Emma Fry location there at San Eduardo, and it's going to be Valentine's themed. They're going to be giving out these, I forgot what it was called, the love languages. It's a 5 love languages activity kit. And then they'll also have produce bags to pass out to the EISD family. So this is for all Kennedy, Memorial, Fine Arts, all of the high schools, middle schools, elementary. So this is Edgewood wide event that's being held. And like I said, me and Natalie will be out there helping hand out and passing out flyers and information as well. So hopefully we get to see you there.
I didn't put the slide in here, but we are making another push for recruitment for if you feel your student needs mentoring in their life. We do work with a program called Student Success Agency, and you can look them up online. You could do a Google search, Student Success Agency. What it is, it's a mentoring service, and it's all done by phone. They don't. The students don't go on Zoom and meet with somebody, or they don't there's no video calls or anything like that. It's all done through text, email, and it's all done, mostly text and email. And it's all monitored on Student Success's part. They have software that they're able to monitor and keep track, making sure everything is, what it's supposed to be and everything's okay between the mentor. And in this case, Student Success Agency, their mentors are called agents. So it's kind of like a sports agent kind of thing for the students. Like, I got an agent and my agent, help me with this kind of thing. But we're making another push for that. And so if you are interested in that for your child, for your student, please reach out to us. You can send us an email so we can get them signed up. But does anybody have any questions, any concerns that we can try to answer right now?
Wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. He kept tweeting, that Mike Pence was abdicating his duties. And then when he finally came out hours later, after not.
Okay, and then one more. Again, this is a parent survey. Parents, if you can do this survey, if you need it in English or Spanish, it's there for either one. But again, this helps us with our grant, helps us better give you the information that you're looking for, and helps us with our presentations and making sure they're okay and they're what you expect for as far as a parent presentation. So you can scan the QR codes and do the survey. And if you do, it'd be greatly appreciated, but as well, we'll get the report of who did the survey, and we will do some drawings for prizes because there are prizes available. Stella, tell them what kind of prizes we have.
So what do we have? We do have some gift cards from Bubba's. They've been our best sponsors so far. So we've gotten a whole bunch of food certificates from them. We have some HEB $10 gift cards for you to use for your groceries. And we also, some of the stuff that we have bought, like water bottles, hand sanitizers, we're giving that to our parents as well. We also have some shirts coming in. We just got approved for them today. Some Edgewood GEARUP t-shirts with like some retro font. I wish I could show y'all. I don't have the picture with me, but they're very cool. We're very excited for you to have some GEARUP swag. And then on back order, but coming soon within this next couple of weeks, we have some really cool folding chairs so that when you're out, barbecue, watching the games, or just outdoor, it'll have Edgewood ISD GEARUP on it as well. So those are coming very soon. So just a small thank you for, coming and listening to the presentation.
That'll be through drawing, and you can only enter the drawing by doing the survey. So again, greatly appreciate it if you can do that. But that's it. Anybody have any questions, any concerns?
We do have a question in the chat from Annalisa, and she asked, for John F. Kennedy students, how are the choice slips going to be distributed and when for virtual?
So for virtual, we can have I can give your name to your counselor, and then we'll reach out to you as far as they may just do a Teams call with you and do it online as they talk to you. And that'll probably be the easiest way for them if you're virtual. But I can give them your name, Annalisa, your counselor, your name, just so we get that taken care of for you.
That was the only question in the chat.
Okay.